Welcome, Ashton, for being here with me. Thank you so much for joining the show today. How are you, man?
I'm blessed, man. I appreciate you for having me today. Just been grinding, locking in for the release of this EP. But other than that, man, I'm blessed. I can't complain at all, for real.
Yeah, that's what's up. I'm so excited that you're here with us today, and you have a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Ambition and goals that you want to achieve, especially in the year starting like this. You never know what you're going to come up with by the end of the year, so starting it off on a high note like this is definitely commendable.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's kind of been the goal. Is to shoot for the highest point that you can aim for. You know what I'm saying? Because even if you don't hit that point, you're still gonna be way higher than what you usually would expect yourself to be. So, I mean, that's just my goal. I think from the past couple of years, we've just been building on what we've already started. And I come from a place where it's not a lot of opportunities in the first place. So me even being at the point that I'm at, it's like already a blessing to me. Like, it's like you can't really tell me what can't be done at this point. So it's just continue to build forward.
That's what's up. I love that. I really love that. Tell us more about how you got started. Like, what brought the music to be today?
Yeah, so in the beginning, it began as an outlet. I actually started with poetry, and I started writing way earlier than I thought I did. I remember my grandmother telling me when they used to have like poems in church. Sometimes they used to recite poems, that the children would recite poems for certain holidays, and she said you used to actually write your own poems. I didn't even remember this. This is from her words. But when I remember actually getting into writing was around being a teenager. Dealing with life. Things, and it became an outlet for me, and it also became something I noticed I was good at right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? I think as like as that age, you kind of finding your way. You kind of finding like, okay, where do I fit in? What, you know what I'm saying? You start experimenting with so many stuff. I was doing sports. I was doing everything that I can kind of get my hands on at the time to kind of find my way. And then music was like that one thing where it's like no matter what, I was like, oh, I noticed I'm pretty good at this. And then it became a way of just outletting. And so it started with freestyling, poetry, and then from then I began to start actually compose songs. By high school, I was like actually writing songs, recording songs, things of that nature. And just kept pushing from there. But yeah, that's really how I started. But music itself, I was always around music. I was born into a musical family, so my dad was he played the drums. He was a choir director. He was a songwriter. My grandmother was a singer. My auntie was a singer, and my mom kept a lot of music around. So by like I think 6, 7, I was already playing the drums. I was already like musically inclined at that point. But as far as like the writing and the rapping, that came like just from I did just the gift of writing, you know what I mean, and seeing people before me, seeing people in my neighborhood, seeing like older cousins, older kids that I looked up to, and that kind of really inspired me to really take hand in it myself.
Wow, bro, that is big. I keep hearing the same thing you've been mentioning, like growing up, with the church, learning instruments, singing, listening to the choir, trying to hear the voices, and then picking it up on your own, and then finding your own sound, because it's always hard to find your sound when everyone's like, I need my sound, and I'm like, what does that mean? But you're able to find it. I agree. That one thing I say, like, as an artist, that's probably the one defining factor, and it can also be the hardest factor, is finding your own sound. You know what I'm saying? And I always tell people, when people ask me as far as advice, I always tell people, like, do what literally is the truest to you. That's gonna be your sound. I feel like, first of all, our voices are instruments. You know what I'm saying? None of our voices sound the same. That's the one instrument right there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like learning how to use your voice, learning how to project your voice. You know what I'm saying? And we all kind of figure our own way. But like, I feel like every artist literally has their own sound. And I feel like where artists go wrong is when they try to sound like something else, and I always say, like, keep it as original as possible, keep it as you as possible. I always say that, not even just original, as you as possible. So that's what's up. I like that. Now thinking about your next step, which is now the EP coming out shortly, and
I'm sure by the time people are listening, they want to know where they can find it and what's going on. Before they even get to that point where they can listen to it, what was your process like when it comes to writing, composing, mixing, mastering, editing, all those artwork? Like how did all that come together?
So this one was actually a little bit different than what I've ever done. The writing, I'll say like I'll begin from like the idea in the writing process. So it's a producer named Blurred Out. He's from New Orleans. We had met through one of our great friends in Atlanta, Duke Desdoon. He's a comedian. They grew up together. I met him when I moved to Atlanta. And he always referred me to him. He was like, yo, you gotta check this guy out. He said, you guys, y'all sounds would like mesh. Y'all sounds like, and he been telling me for years, and I finally met him. He was a cool dude. We born around the same time. We're into like the same type of stuff. And so I'm like, oh, he's pretty cool. But we still never worked. We collaborated on one track that was unreleased at the time. And I liked the sound and the feel of it. And I was like, you know what, bro, we might as well just put something together, like a whole EP. And at that time period, while we were putting together, I was dealing with things myself. You know what I'm saying? I think I was dealing with just the feeling of being overlooked, the feeling of putting in what you're not getting out, what you're putting in, or feeling like I'm not getting the proper results that I deserve from what I know that I'm putting out. And I know for a fact, like this should receive more recognition. And then it came to a point where it was the idea of Never Stop Dreaming. You know what I'm saying? And the idea behind it was pretty much just not giving up on your goals, but also at the same time, when people look at dreams, they think that, oh, this is the time where you're most unconscious, but it's actually the time where you're the most conscious. So that's the time where you should be aware. So in the sense of all saying never stop dreaming, never stop being aware of what your purpose is while you're here. Don't give up on that. And the writing process from this one it was a little bit different, because I usually kind of just take the instrumental from the producer, or take whatever the base idea of it, and then kind of write, practice it, and then I'll go in and record it. This one was a little bit different because it was more off feeling. I literally went with whatever the initial feeling was, and I either like wrote directly off that. Sometimes I'll come in and just record something and then piece it together from there. Some pieces wasn't written, you know what I'm saying? It was very, very free flowing. And the irony of that is, people, what I've got from it so far is people like, this sounds like the most organized thing that you ever done before. And I laughed to myself, because like, that's funny, because it's literally the most disorganized writing process that I ever done for a project, but it's pure. And I think that was my goal with the writing process, to keep it as pure as possible, and not like hold back, not like block anything, but literally just go off literally how I'm feeling. And I focused less on what I was saying and more on how I was feeling at the time. And I think it just came out the way it came together. It hits different, you know what I'm saying? I think it impacts the listener a lot different than what I've done before. The artwork, I had the idea slightly for the artwork. I knew it was gonna be something spacey. I knew it was gonna be something like something just out there, because it's dealing with dreams. And shout out to Zeno. He's the one who actually did the cover, and I kind of just had like pieces of ideas of what I gave to him, and he actually created the cover. Like he does like the full animated. So he draws it, then he puts it up, animates it, and that's how he pieced it together. Now I'm assuming he was going through my page of like what I was dealing with, because he put pieces of like my life in there. I don't even know how. I just look at it as like it was purposeful, because like when you see the cover, you see me on the front and I'm like in a sleep state. But then you see like a controller, which is like, if you know me, I'm a big gamer. I love the game. And then you see like my car keys. So at the time, it was another part of the project was I actually got in a wreck. It was a Benz car keys, and it was a pretty bad wreck that could have ended my life. And it really halted me and made me like really take life in differently, really slow down and look at life a lot different, being more appreciative of life itself. And so the irony was, he put that in the cover. I didn't tell him, but it was in there. So and then like I think it's like a cup in there, like a cup of lean, and it's kind of like, to me, that also represents like the demons that we battle. You know what I'm saying? The demons that like in the space of our purpose. You know what I'm saying? You're always gonna have things that try to take you away from it. It's kind of this gonna try to like snatch it or slow or halt or hinder. And so, you know, that was the part of the artwork. But it was crazy how it all came together. It was just I didn't purposely tell him to put these things in there, but they got placed in there for a purpose. You know, that was how the artwork itself came together. Shout out to Outlaw Beats. He did the mixing and the mastering of it. This our first time working together as well. I think we worked together on like a couple singles, and I like the way he sounded. I like the way he brought the sound out in a couple of songs that I sent to him before, and a couple of features that I done with him. So I was like, I'm gonna actually work with him full time. He's from the area that I'm from. I'm from Marietta, Florida. He's from Tallahassee, Florida. It's like right down the road from each other, 850 Jackson County. But you know, he really brought the sound. He really brought the feel. It's like I wanted to sound really raw and hip hop, and he really brought that feel out in the mix of it. And even the melodies that I did, I feel like he did a good job with the melodies on there as well. So you know, that's kind of like how the full package of things came together. And then me and my wife, she's my manager, we worked on the rollout of this. And also Janice Russ, shout out to DCJ. She actually shot, directed some of the videos. So if you go to my page now, you'll see a couple like short videos with songs in them, and they all kind of like have like a meaning, but like they're really like they're like 15 seconds, and they're pretty much put in place to kind of like assist in rolling out and assist in like what to expect when you're gonna listen to this project. And I haven't even put out any official visuals yet, you know what I'm saying? And we just kind of really put our heads together and really rolling this one out because we feel like it's special. And you know, this is the first time we put this much effort beforehand in you know, rolling out a project like this. And I think what I did with this one, I looked at other artists that I respect on a higher level, and I look at how they did their projects. Of course, a lot of them have machines behind them, so it's a little bit different, but I looked at what I know that I can do and my originality behind it, and kind of put that effort into like, you know, promoting and rolling out. And it's a lot of other stuff that we're going to continue to do throughout this year with this project, so I'm super excited for it.
That's what's up. As you were speaking, one question came to my mind, which is, you know, out of the whole project, which track resonates with you the most? What would you say is your best track that you would say is your favorite?
It's tough. I'll give two. One, I think my favorite track creatively is POV. And I think POV kind of sets the sound. Like if you hear POV, you pretty much can know what the whole sound of the project is going to sound like. And it's so different at the same time from every track. It's personal because like I talk about in my experience with the rec, I talk about that in the song, but I describe it as like from my point of view, like it's literally happening. And I describe like what I was going through at that time, what I was feeling. But at the same time, it's also very introspective too, because it talks about understanding perspective and not knowing that it's a perspective outside of yours. Just because you see something from your point of view doesn't mean that it's other people don't have other points of view as well. Everybody has their own perspective of things, you know what I'm saying? And just kind of give tits and bit. I feel like lyrically, that's probably, and that's also tough to say too, but I feel like that was probably my best one on there as well. And just the overall sound of that track is so smooth. It's the melodies, the mix, everything just kind of hits a little bit different with that track, to me personally. But I also like Take Your Time, because I'm also, if you know me, I'm a big fan of R&B too, and that was kind of like that lane that I had a chance. I love anytime I get to dip into that lane, I love it as well, because like I said, I have a background, you know, speaking of with choirs and soul and R&B too, so I love to incorporate that in anytime that I can too. So like that was a chance for me to kind of like to bring that vibe into it as well, because that's also a part of who I am. So yeah, I think those are like my two favorite tracks on there. But POV is like my top, like for sure. I say it's probably the best track to me personally. And I also recorded it in the car, so that's kind of like something that was like the whole recording of it was different. Like, wow. We was in between spots. At the time, we were staying in a hotel, so I didn't have my normal setup, and I needed to get the track done. So I literally had my mic. I didn't have my mic stand or nothing. I literally held my mic, this same mic right here, and just recorded it. Got in the car, I just had my laptop and recorded it, and that's how that one was done. So
wow,
it's a cool track. Yeah.
This is why I love behind the scenes, man, because you never know like what you're doing. Everyone likes the vibe, but people appreciate the song when you see the person recording it in a way that actually puts it out, to give that ambition and that mindset that, okay, this is how it was done, this is how I'm perceiving it. Like you said, POV, it's a different type of vibe that goes into it. So I really appreciate you giving that insight, because people now will be like, what was he wearing in the car? What car was he? What road was he on? So that's why I like this kind of conversations, because now it gets me thinking, okay, I want to listen to it again, because now I have something to remember, because I'm listening to the track at that time.
Yeah, I think it's crazy, because I think every single one of those songs kind of have like a story behind them. Some of them I don't necessarily remember recording, but most of them I have like a kind of like the story. Like even the intro, Never Stop Dreaming, I recorded that in Destin, Florida. It was on vacation. Literally, it was the last track, because technically, like originally, it wasn't gonna be 6 tracks. It was gonna be 5 tracks. So it was gonna actually start with the second track, but I was, going through the producer's Blur, his TikTok, and I seen him making the beat. I was like, yo, what is that? Do you have that right now? Because I knew, so I just felt like something was missing from it. I was like, I need something. I need a starter. I need like a spark, something that just, as soon as it starts off, it's in your face, like it just draws attention. And then I seen him making the beat on his TikTok, and I hit him up. I was like, yo, I need that. Can I get that? Do you have that? He was like, yeah, for sure. Like, can you send it to me now? Because I literally, like, at this time, we're wrapping it up, so we're having to get stuff in for it. And I'm like, can you send it to me now? I'm like, literally gonna try to do it like today. If I can't get it done, then cool, we'll put it out later. But I need to get this song done. And I was literally writing to it, replaying it through his TikTok, kept writing to it. So by the time he sent it to me, I already had the song done. And so like, for some odd reason, I know it was God, like told me to bring my mic. Although I'm on vacation, I wouldn't have brought my mic. Like I was just, it was me and wife enjoying our vacation. So I brought my mic, just so happened to have all my equipment. As soon as he sent it to me, I laid it down and got it done. And so that became the intro to Never Stop Dreaming. And it was like also relevant because I was speaking on a lot of things. That's more of like society, what I was dealing with and what I felt like my people were dealing with in society wise. And I feel like it's things that's old, and now it's like, instead of just asking, that song, I feel like it's more I'm taking what's mine now. I'm going for my purpose, like, and you're not gonna tell me no, you're not gonna deny me. I'm taking it from you pretty much. And so that was like the thought and the idea behind that track. But wow, it's crazy because like even I did a behind the scenes for that one. That was the only one that I actually recorded the behind the scenes for, because I was thinking ahead. I missed all the other ones, but yeah, like if you go on my page, I actually have the behind the scenes for how that track was created. So it's pretty interesting.
That's what's up. This is what I love, man. I think this is gonna be like written in the stars. A lot of people are going to like really enjoy this now because they are listening to this. And I think one of the things I should be telling people too is, before you listen to a track, generally listen to the story, get to hear the behind the scenes. So when you listen to the music, you appreciate the sound. And this is really what we have to do, because when you listen to the whole EP, now you can tell why this song made sense, why this lyric connected with that one, what you were doing, where you are, TikTok. Like, it's like a whole puzzle, and you're putting it all together in 30 minutes or less. But when you listen to everything, you choose your favorite song, and then it just blows out of proportion, and you're like, oh, okay, now I see why y'all like this song, because it came from this point. So I appreciate you for letting us know on that. You've talked about the release, and I know you'll tell us when it's going to be out, where it's going to be, but also tell us a little bit about the release party and the international tour. What's that looking like?
Okay, so yeah, it drops 2/24, which at the time is this Friday. But yeah, 2/24 is gonna be out on every platform, everywhere you can find music. You literally just search "It's Ashton Martin NSD." But I always say the easiest way to keep up with any of my music is literally to join the AME guest list, and you do that by texting AME to 850-754-1956, and it sends you it updates you with every release. It updates you with all my social information. But if you want to do it manually, just search "It's Ashton Martin NSD" on any of your music platforms.
But the release party, so that's actually gonna be March the 4th, and it's gonna be here in Atlanta, Georgia. Normally, this is actually the first concert that I'm putting together myself here in Atlanta. I've done it back in Florida, where I'm from, obviously, but here I haven't had a chance. I partnered on some events, but I haven't done nothing that's like solely just A&B. And so to me, it's exciting because it's the first event. And I have people coming from everywhere, even just to come and be here. Honestly, I think it's going to be more people that's not from here that's going to be there than people that's from here. But I have built some connections and network with some great individual artists, people here too. So I'm excited to see them. For them, it's going to be like a reunite, because 2020, 2021 was kind of weird, so we wasn't really able to be out and about like that. Now it's getting back regular, and I still haven't really been out and about like that, just because, what I'm saying, of what I've been dealing with life and what I've been working on. And so for me, it's going to be a reunion. I'm excited for the release. I'm performing every single song. I have some dope artists that's going to be sharing the stage with me. Shout out to Two Benji. Shout out to Aurora. It's just going to be a great night, So I'm excited for the release party. Definitely, if you can make it here to Atlanta, Georgia, for sure, pull up. It's welcoming. $5 entry. Like I said, if you're looking for how you can find tickets, it's on Eventbrite. You can go to my page. It's Ashton Martin on all social platforms. Like I said, the easiest way is just to text AME to 850-754-1956. As far as the international tour, we're still building. I know one of the first stops is going to be Rotterdam at the New Schools Festival. So I'm excited about that. Yeah, but I all the other dates aren't confirmed yet, but I know for sure we're going to be over Rotterdam, so I'm excited about that. That's going to be a vibe. We went there in 2019. That was my first time actually being international, and it was a vibe that time too. So I'm definitely excited to go back overseas. Overseas is like it's a totally different feel for me. Like it's just a totally different appreciation I feel for independent artists, and a totally different it's different. It's a different vibe, different people, and so I always love to connect that way on the music itself. But yeah, I'm excited for it. We're also gonna have some more stops here in the States. Definitely, I gotta do my home state, and so just stay tuned. That's some dope stuff coming up.
That's what's up. I appreciate you, man. And before we even close, I wanted to play your song, so that people can just have an idea of what the sound is like, because there's a song that you have on your website, it's called W. And before I play it, tell us a little bit about it and what inspired that song.
So W, as I stated before, 2020 was more of a downtime for me. 2021 was kind of the same as well. I made that at the end of, if I'm not mistaken, it was the end of 2021. And it was feeling like a comeback season for me. It was me coming out of a rut as well, writing. And W to me represents like going for the championship. Like I played sports growing up, so basketball was the sports that I played, and that mentality stuck with me even through music. Of like, you have to have a quick memory in a sense. So when I mean that, I mean like when you take a loss, you have to put your mindset in the next game or in the next season. You know what I'm saying? Because when you take that loss, you have to be able to adapt yourself, learn from that, but adapt yourself to go to the next step, to the next stage. Championships aren't won by games, they're won by like seasons. So you know what I'm saying, you develop yourself through the season and get ready to the end of the season. That's how you win the championship or even make it to the championship. So that was my mindset with coming with W, and it's kind of like just comeback season, taking those losses and turning those into W's. So that was like my mindset in creating W. I love that track. I shot the video on my birthday that year, and so it was just a exciting time for me at that time period.
Nice. That's what's up. So I'll play it really quickly on audio so people can just have an idea of what it sounds like, and then we're gonna rock it out and see how it goes. So here we go, guys. This is W by It's Ashton Martin.
Yeah, I'm back with a bitch, back on the mission. Back how they thought I was back on the bitch. Back up my tracks with no stride of the fist. class can't grab my attention. I was too gas for the tracks I was whipping. Now I look back and I'm happy I did it. Clean up my conscience from all that ties. Just got in my bag and I got out my fist. For the W, this for the ring. I'm trying to win me a chip for the team. I'm trying to win me a chip for the team. I'm trying to win me a chip for the team. Thinking we sleeping, it ain't what it seems. I'm trying to win me a chip for the team. I'm trying to win me a chip for the team. I'm trying to win me a chip for the Who you think that they giving the ball to? Every time it go up, it's gon' fall through. Shoot 3 on the head, we gon' all shoot. I got dressed, but I ball like I'm ball too. 2 folks what they see when I crawl through. Rockin' purple while counting the ball blues. Heard they surfing the way that I cause to. Know it's irking they brain, but it's all true. I'm good in the fourth, couldn't be more. I'ma go hard like the wood on the floor. Watching my pivot, my foot in the door. The intake was given, I knew it was more. Wasn't satisfied with the less. Had to strategize for the set. I seen set of times and I bet it prepare my mind for what's next.
Okay.
This for the W, this for the ring. I'm trying to win me a chip for the team. I'm trying to win me a chip for the team. I'm trying to win me a chip for the team. Thinking we sleeping, it ain't what it seems. I'm trying to win me a chip for the team. I'm trying to win me a chip for the team. I'm trying to win me a chip for the
You know what I love about this track is the fact that the way the W represents and then the sound itself just hits home really hard, is especially when you have the trumpets. Because when you hear trumpets,
Yes.
you hear, because I'm musical too, I'm a self-taught drummer, so I know when you hear trumpets, when you hear that band, that march, that drum line, you know, those kind of things, you know this is a W season. So I really picked up on that when I heard that. I was like, okay, I see that. That was a dope track.
Yeah, I really wanted something. I really wanted something to sound like a championship, sound like you were almost at like a HBCU or like a football or basketball game, and you're hearing the trumpets, and it's like it's making you feel like you won, you know. So that's the feel I was definitely going. I'm glad that you caught that. I appreciate that. Shout out to Resna who actually made that beat.
Yeah, that's a dope track.
Yeah, that one's fire.
That's a dope track. What's the name of the EP?
With on that one?
No, on the new one coming. And you can tell us this
one too. NSD. NSD. So NSD stands for Never Stop Dreaming. But it's entitled NSD. Yeah.
Nice.
The one up for that one's actually called Golden Child. I think that one came out in it came out last year around August.
Okay.
So I dropped that one. Yeah.
Nice. This is what's up, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for you.
Sir.
I'm excited for what's coming, and I definitely can't wait to hear it drop. And once it's dropped, I know it's going to be in the description link, so I'll make sure I update that so that you guys can also tap in. And also the number you mentioned as well, I'll make sure that is also in the description note for people to just check in and make sure that they can always stay in contact with you even after the release has been, dropped.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Definitely keep in contact. Like I said, I'm not really into building fans. I'm into building family. That's my whole thing.
True.
I love being family oriented, and so I love making organic music for people who appreciate it. So that's my biggest thing.
That's big, man. Thank you so much for joining the We Don't Play show today. It's a pleasure having you, and congratulations on the release in advance.
Thank
in a couple of hours it's gonna be out, so I hope you enjoy. I hope people enjoy the music. Add it to your playlist, rock it, bump it, jam it, replay it, put it on TikTok, dance with it. Anything that you got to do to make it pop, I'm sure it's gonna be dope, and I appreciate you for having the time to spend with me today.
For sure. Man, I appreciate you for having me. I appreciate the love. And of course. Thank you, man.
Anytime.